So today we're going to be doing a Rays realistic rebuild, and I feel like this one could be a pretty good challenge. And I know the Rays are currently one of the best teams in baseball, if not the best team in baseball, but I got to rebuild them at some point, and I feel like doing it realistically, that'll be fun. We know the Rays like their platoon style matchups, underrated players that just like work for them, and that's what I'm going to try to stick to. I'm going to try to find these types of players that just most teams don't think about. And then on top of that, I'm going to set myself a financial restriction of not being able to sign a player higher than what Wander Franco is currently on, which is 16 mil. So I feel like with the style of Rays baseball, which is kind of like today's Moneyball, and then also that financial restriction, I think this realistic rebuild is gonna be pretty tough. All right, so this is kind of what the team is that I want to rock with. I feel like we're gonna be looking pretty good here. I would like a better DH. I'm not gonna lie, we do have a couple other players down here. Like Curtis Mead is definitely someone I'm looking forward to seeing if we can get into the team. Vidal Brujan, I think at this point, we've kind of figured out that he may not just be a good hitter at the major league level, which, you know, maybe he was just a little bit overhyped once it started. Or, you know, like, and if he's what, 25? Is he 25? I feel like he's someone that they always mess up his age on MLB The Show. Let's take a look. How old is he? He is 25. Okay. So with that being said, you know, he might be someone that I'd look to trade just for like someone else of similar age that could potentially help us out off the bench. You know, I don't know what Jose Siri is going to do. I don't know what Taylor Walls is going to do. I know in real life he's off to a crazy tear. But, you know, when you look at this team, I feel like I'm looking at it and going, we could use just maybe a little bit more offense, right? Just based on like how MLB The Show plays and everything like that. And then pitching matchup wise, a player that I'd be okay like possibly moving, Tyler Glasnow. I feel like every offseason there are some rumors that teams are interested in him. And I think the big thing with him is staying healthy. So, you know, I think in real life he's supposed to come back soon. We'll have to see how he does. But with a contract somewhat close to expiring, I feel like he could be a player that the Rays look to move. And for this realistic rebuild, I'm really trying to focus on how players are performing in this sim. I will avoid picking up certain players that I feel like in real life teams wouldn't move. So like recently, Brian Reynolds just signed with the Pirates. I feel like that's a player that I won't be able to get. Same thing with like Tatis and players like that, where I just feel like they're stuck with their teams. But I do want this to be, you know, focused on like the free agents that are currently in this sim, you know, players that are on the trade block, and just kind of how players perform. So let's see how it goes for the first season. I'll see you guys at the block. The deadline. We're a half game behind the Yankees at the deadline, and I'm thinking more so let's go out and make our pitching staff just a little bit better. Like I'm kind of looking at some of the relievers that we have. I'd like to kind of get like these low rated 70 overall relievers that are kind of glitchy that would be available. Maybe even like just like a bat that could help us out. Like Ben Gamel's decent in AAA, but like with that deep potential, 30 years old, I just don't know if he'd really be a piece for us moving forward. Kind of the same thing with Luke Raley, but similar type players, maybe players with like C potential that we could use. I feel like that would help us out a little bit. I've sent down, who did I send down? Taylor Walls. He was really struggling. He was hitting like 180. And I mean, with 175 at bats, that's pretty tough. Obviously can't replicate what he's doing in real life. So instead, I'm going to give Vidal Brujan a shot. He was hitting like 280 in AAA. So we'll see what he can do. You can see the numbers have actually been pretty good. So he's shut me up so far, but we'll see what he can do as like with major league experience now, or in the lineup at the major league. So I looked at the block. I didn't really like anybody. I thought about Genesis Cabrera. He's having a pretty good year in the majors, but only one more minor league option. I don't really know if I would use him this year. We do have quite a few lefties, so like he still is on my radar, but I just don't know if I'd want to pick him up just yet. And I looked at some of the other options. Bubba Thompson was an intriguing one, especially for that contact versus righties. I'd consider him. Let's see who else. Maybe someone like, I think that might have been it, because I feel like the B-A potential players, they're just kind of like not realistic targets for what's going on right now, especially like someone like Ronnie Mauricio just doesn't make sense. So Bubba Thompson, I'm slightly intrigued. What's the contract situation? Haven't used any of his options. I mean, I feel like our outfielders are kind of very platoon heavy already, but with Jose Siri potentially being a player that like I don't really want in the squad much longer, and if he's hitting like this, I'd be interested. Whew. I've looked at who's in like last place and everything. I'm looking at the White Sox, the Royals, the Mariners, the Athletics, and then also the Nationals mainly here. So let me see what I can find, see if we can find maybe a reliever or a bat. I'm going to go to the Athletics for Drew Steckenrider. They're not using him. He's in AAA. He's having a pretty good season. Contract-wise, we've got a couple minor league options, so I feel like we could use him. Yes, he's 32, but I think he could help us out just in case one of our relievers does struggle. I'm trading Tyler Frank, D potential second baseman. I feel like that's pretty good. All right, I got 2 targets for this final, or like the 2 final targets for this trade deadline. So they want a reliever, a catcher, third baseman, center fielder. Let's see what we've got going on here. Center fielder, maybe Cameron Meisner. We're close there, which, I mean, it's not too bad. Let me see. The shortstop, don't really have. Maybe Alika Williams. Doesn't really get it there. Greg Jones, 25-year-old, 63. We could do something like that. They want a reliever. I don't really have anybody that I want to get rid of just yet. Maybe Brendan McKay. With the Rays want Brendan McKay, they don't. So what we could do is we could just go like Greg Jones, or we'll go Alika Williams. And then I'll also give him like a reliever, and we'll go like Ryan Burr. That doesn't work. Seymour doesn't work either. Let's see, maybe like a center field that's like really low rated that could potentially work. Cameron Meisner. I feel like it's a little bit too much for Bubba Thompson, but you know what? It's not the worst. It's not the worst. So we'll make it work there. And then the last trade I want to do, I'm kind of looking at this like he's not gonna be like the same as a Yandy Diaz, but like can play first, can play third, maybe can help us out a little bit. Does have one more option left. At AAA was really good, but at the MLB level has struggled a little bit. We're gonna go for Juan Yepez, and then let's see, they want a catcher or a starting pitcher. Which, crazy news, by the way, Cardinals are making Wilson Contreras a corner outfielder. Why not just give the job to Jordan Walker? Why spend all that money on Wilson Contreras to be your catcher, and now because your pitchers suck, you're making him an outfielder / DH? The Cardinals are hitting the panic button, and they are in absolute shambles. They're a mess right now. So let me see for Yepez, who could I give? Let's see here. They'll take Castaneda. What about like Sampin? We'll go Sampin, and I guess we could throw like another low-rated pitching prospect. I feel like that's not a bad trade for Juan Yepez right there. I mean, it's Juan Yepez. It's not like I'm looking for like a top 5 prospect or something like that. So I feel like that could be pretty good. I think these 2 will be sent down for now, and we'll just let Vidal Brujan go. I think we're 2 spots, 3 over. Hold on. I'm gonna have to clear this up. It was only 2, 28 over 26. Yeah, I can math. I swear. So this is what we're gonna rock with for the rest of the year. I feel like the players that we got could potentially help us out if we need to switch things out, but not a bad deadline. Small moves, but I think that could really help. Let's really quickly take a look at our draft. There was a shortstop that I was also interested that I didn't end up signing, and it was I want to see if I can find him really quickly. Gaylord DiMaggio. What a name! Holy cow! That is a name. That is a name and a half. I can't find him. Oh, is this a generational talent? Archie Raines. Ooh, he's gonna be nasty. I like the name too. That's a good pitcher name. Archie Raines. That's just a good name. That's a powerful name right there. Cubs actually had a decent draft, but let me see if I can find him. It was Pineda. So I'm glad I went with the one that we went with, because ours is a little bit higher rated. But did I miss a second generational talent? I did. Jeremy Saldana. I didn't miss him, but there was one that was drafted. Wow. The Tigers had a draft. Holy cow. So there was 2 generational talents in this draft, right? I don't think there was 3, because 89, 90, 99. Okay, so let's talk about ours really quickly. 83 potential, 63 overall for Charlie Beatty. Really bad fielding wise, so we'll probably move him to 6'5". 6'5", no power. 6'5", 190. What? Like what do I make of this? Doesn't have an arm, can't field, good speed, good contact. Is this like a first baseman? I don't really know. Maybe like John Olerud vibes, but I feel like John Olerud had a little bit more power, a little bit better with the glove. Carl Don was a reliever that we got. Doesn't look too bad. 8 potential. 80 potential for this catcher, James Pelletier. Honestly, looks pretty well-rounded. I'm actually pretty happy with this pickup. We've got 89 potential for Benitez, 56 overall, 53 for Andino, 58 for Turner, but that power is pretty intriguing. and then 89 potential for Ibarra. So not a bad first couple picks. I kind of like them. We won the division 97-65. We're taking on the Blue Jays. We have league leaders. Shane McClanahan was absolutely disgusting. A .9 whip and 237 innings pitched. And then Arozarena led the league in batting average and hits, and then slugging percentage as well. So I'm pretty happy with what I'm seeing here. We've got a batting title, and that was it. Arozarena wasn't even in the MVP race. That's how crazy this race was. You've got Shohei, who pitched unbelievably. Wow. And also was really good with the bat. You've got Judge, who was also very good with the bat. And then Yordan, who was also very good with the bat. On the other side, Pete Alonso wins it with 41 home runs. I believe you guys were pointing out in a recent rebuild that he hit like 60 home runs, and I completely missed that. I'm going to have to start paying more attention. We've got Strider, who won Cy Young. Obviously, Ohtani's going to win it. McClanahan also had a very good year. It's just Ohtani was a lot better. I mean, that's a pretty big difference. Also, almost 300 strikeouts. Holy cow. Who won it on the other side? Strider. Starling Marte and Arozarena batting title. Reliever of the year goes to Clase and Alvarado. And the rookie of the year is Kodai Senga, along with Gunnar Henderson. Okay, so my pitching, it's going to be a mess. I already knew that. All right, so I did have Taj Bradley pitch for a little bit with us. You can see he had 11 starts. He struggled a little bit, which is difficult. You know, obviously you want him to be a little bit better. Also, Kittredge was only had 2 innings pitched. Yikes. But looking at our major league level pitching, we've got Chirinos, who was solid. I'm actually really happy with that outcome. Fleming, 70 innings pitched, was okay, but Clevenger was very good. We've got Beeks, who only got 1 inning all year, which is crazy to think about. Poche, only 5 innings all year. And then you got Thompson, who was really solid. Jason Adam was okay. I think I'd give him another season. We've got arbitration, so why not? And then Fairbanks was really good, and potential went up, which is awesome to see. McClanahan, 2 ERA. He was a Cy Young candidate. It was crazy. Rasmussen was also very good. Glasnow was also very good. I'm still kind of on the fence about trading him. I just feel like we're kind of a pitcher-heavy team. It would make sense to kind of just cash in on that. And the Rays aren't afraid to trade one of their better pitchers. They traded Blake Snell to the Padres in the offseason, coming off of a World Series appearance. So just saying. Zach Eflin and then Jeffrey Springs. All of them really solid. Plus it gets $15 million off our books. And we have Taj Bradley with a potential super young pitcher. I feel like we could rock with him at the 5 spot and still be a very good team. Offensively, let's see what happened here. So Luke Raley, I sent down. He was just struggling a little bit. Got quite a few appearances. Just didn't really work out. I did call up Yepez. How did he do? Doesn't really separate for us. So I wonder if I could call him back up. Oh, they called up Thompson, which honestly, we could try that. Try something like that and see how it works. See if that works for us. Like I'd like to try Yepez in the lineup, but we can kind of see what happens here. Ooh, how do I want to do this? Maybe something like that will work versus lefties. We'll see. But let's see what the team was looking like. Paredes, I only had him in versus lefties. He was okay. Wish it was a little bit better, but not bad. Mejia was, the average is good, but like everything else is kind of lackluster. Taylor Walls struggled, and then Jose Siri also struggled. So yeah, and then Bubba Thompson didn't play for us at all, but we'll see what happens with him moving forward. Arozarena was fantastic. Love to see it. Margot was also pretty good versus lefties, and that's the only lineup that he was in. We've got Yandy, who, yeah, give me more of that. Actually, why do we have no DH lineup? So we'll look at this. Yandy, love that. That was a really good season. I was looking at the wrong lineup. Woo! Wander Franco, solid season, but I wish it was a little bit better. Like the average is okay. The OPS is a little low. On base percentage is pretty low. Honestly, I'm a little underwhelmed. I'm not going to lie. Brandon Lau was good, like those numbers. Arozarena we saw was fantastic. I mean, 35 home runs, 10 triples, and 42 doubles. That's good. That's good. Harold Ramirez, not bad. I'll leave it there. And then Christian Betancourt wasn't that great. Realistically, I might try out Mejia. And I know Betancourt behind the plate's a pretty decent catcher, but I feel like we can get someone with a little bit better bat and similar behind the plate. Josh Lowe, only had him in versus righties, and I think that's probably going to be the move moving forward, just because, like, look at the numbers that we got from him. I'm pretty happy there. And then we saw Margot's numbers, who average and on-base percentage. I'm pretty happy with that. So let's see how we do in the postseason against the Blue Jays. Okay, we lose right off the rip. Yeah, that happened. All right, let's get to the postseason. The Angels defeat the Dodgers, which is an interesting outcome there. So, okay. Ben Gamel, what does he want for like another season? Like a mil? I think we can handle that. Like a mil? That's not too bad. And if we need him, we can turn to him. He had pretty good numbers this year in AAA. So, looking at the team, I'd be interested in a catcher. I'm not like really like it's not my number one target, but looking at the team, I feel like we do have quite a few outfielders, and like Jose Siri wasn't bad. We gave him 200 at bats, but he wasn't good either. And I feel like he could be someone that like we let go. We have Bubba Thompson now. We still have Lowe. We still have Margot. We still have a Rosarena. We've got like Yepez. We've got a couple others. Gamel. We've got a few outfielders that we could turn to. The whole sizer as well. I feel like we might be able to change things up a little bit. I mean, like Margot can stay versus lefties, and maybe we just try to add just a little bit of thump in this lineup. I think that'll help us out. And then I'm not opposed to going out and get another reliever, but let's just see what happens. So I'm going to trade Tyler Glasnow. And I know you're probably like, well, he had such a good season last year. You should keep him. He's a free agent. I'm not going to bring him back. I think he's a piece we should look at. So at least look at moving. And I've looked around. The Padres, man, not really anything I like. I'm not going to lie. Like, I don't want another Padres catcher. Is it Mejia a Padres catcher? He is. I know the Rays and the Padres have each other on speed dial. They usually do some sort of trade at some point throughout the year. I feel like that's always what happens. But I just don't see anybody here that I'm like, yeah, that's a good addition to our farm system or our team. I just don't like it. Another team I considered was the Cubs. I feel like they've been kind of linked to Tyler Glasnow in previous years, but then I saw they signed Ohtani, and their pitching rotation looks pretty stacked on top of the fact that they did draft a generational pitcher. And I just didn't really know who to take from them, and also they don't necessarily need it. Like they've still got Hendricks, still got Wesneski. I guess I could take Wesneski from them, but I don't want a 1-for-1 Glasnow for Wesneski. I know the contract for Glasnow's expiring. I know, he's coming off of just one decent season, but I feel like I should be able to get at least like one top 10-ish prospect, or at least someone that's like close to MLB ready. And so then I saw the Braves, and I was like, they could use another starter. Like they're at their 4, it's decent, but Soroka's a free agent, right? Fried's a free agent. Tyler Glasnow, could just be like that push to get them to a World Series, and if things don't work out, then they either try to re-sign him or they let him go. And I looked around, I was like, Ian Anderson's an interesting option. Bryce Elder, another interesting option. A potential is not as high as Ian Anderson's, but I know in real life he's doing fairly well. And this would allow me to get something else in return. And I looked at another couple other pitchers that they have, and I didn't really like the looks of their attributes. And I looked around to kind of see what other players they had with some decent potential and where they kind of stood. We could go after that guy that I thought about drafting, but I didn't. But then I saw Austin Martin, who, Twins, the Blue Jays formerly, and I'm like, he hasn't really done anything yet. And I feel like Bryce Elder would be the main piece of this trade here, and I can throw in Austin Martin. I feel like this is a decent trade, a prospect that hasn't really fully lived up to the hype yet. And then Bryce Elder, who in real life is coming off a good season, but at what is he, 74, 75, 72 rated? I mean, he's pretty close to being either helping us out of the sixth man-ish role, out of the bullpen, out of that 5 spot in the rotation. I feel like that's a pretty good move there. Anderson is just slightly out of range, but I also feel like this would be someone that the Braves would be okay moving. So I'm kind of torn between the two, and looking at both, they're very, very similar. The only reason I like Elder a little bit more is because the hits, the walks, and the control is a little bit better, but I don't know. Yeah, let's go with Elder, because I feel like I've gotten Anderson before and it hasn't worked out. So I'm going to go Austin Martin and Bryce Elder for Tyler Glasnow. All right, so lineup currently looks like this. And Yepez, we're going to see how he does. I could put him in the DH spot, which I might actually. You can see we've got a new addition, Josh Rojas. He was sitting in free agency. I signed him to a 1-year, $2 million deal. Kind of fits that platoon situation perfectly. Can take over for third for Yandy, and Yandy can stay at first base. I kind of like what's going on here. I like this team quite a bit. I think he fits that spot perfectly. And for 2 mil, why not? You know, he had a disappointing year last year, but I feel like we could get something out of him. I feel like we should be okay. And then obviously with the outfielders and everything that's going on here, I think we're looking pretty good. So I'm rocking with one less pitcher this year, just to kind of get that extra bat in the lineup. But also, I've signed like Michael Fulmer. I brought in JP Fireisen back. We've got Elder over here. Samson was also brought in as a potential like extra arm just in case things don't go to plan. And I think I have a couple on waivers. Patino, Fleming, and who else is on waivers? I think Vidal Brujan's on waivers, and I think that might be it. Holsizer got taken in the Rule 5 draft. I didn't realize that he was Rule 5 eligible. I wish it would have told me on the screen rather than me having to go through every single player individually to see if someone was Rule 5 eligible or not. I also did bring in Senzel, Deloach, and there's a couple other like farm system minor leaguers that I have. So, you know, Austin Martin's still in AAA. We'll see how he does there. But I feel like our farm system's looking really good. We're starting to get to the point where we could just start shuffling players around if things don't work. All right, so at the deadline, I'm 54 and 54, and it's not the pitching's fault. The pitching is really good besides like Zach Eflin. The long reliever has been kind of okay. It hasn't been bad, but I'm trying to rotate the pitchers out to see if we can get someone that's like locked in. But look at the pitching. The pitching's great. The pitching's fantastic. Maybe Jason Adam isn't the guy here, but like realistically, like everybody's been fairly good in the pitching spots. It's the offense has just gone completely missing. Yes, there's Yandy Diaz, but that's really about it. Like everybody else has been atrocious, and I'm trying to find I'm calling up different players. I'm switching things around. I'm giving players plenty of at bats, and it's just not working. So yeah, I feel like we've got a good team. I just feel like we're underperforming. So I need a new catcher. I don't want to throw Mejia against righties. I need to find someone that hits righties better. There is a player that's on the block that I think would be fantastic for us. Like this would be our everyday catcher. I just don't see the Rays going for someone like this. Like I'll see what big moves the Rays have done to acquire a player recently, but I don't think there is one. Yeah, so most of the trades that they do, I mean, I guess the Chris Archer trade, but they got like, I don't know, man. I just don't see them going out and getting like big name players, right? Most of them are still kind of like under the radar stuff. Even the trade when they gave up Chris Archer, they got prospects in return. And so like me going out and getting Tyler Stevenson doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't seem really realistic. Neither does it when you try to trade within the division. So I try to find teams that had like a surplus of catchers or just weren't competing. And the teams that aren't competing are like the Royals, who clearly don't have any surplus of catchers. The Athletics, again, don't have a surplus of catchers. It was the Nationals, again, pretty weak at the catcher position. The Cubs have quite a few like aging catchers, and Luis Torrens does hit righties better, a little bit better than what Christian Betancourt does, slightly better. So he's a cheap option that I could go for. The Reds, again, not a team that I can try to get Tyler Stevenson from. And then the Pirates, again, that was a team that was pretty bad this season. This is another one. Like they've got Salvi and Gabriel Moreno. It's just, would they trade Gabriel Moreno? Would that be a player that they'd be looking to move? I don't know. The Rockies, another team. I just don't want Elias Diaz. I don't think he's an upgrade or even like slightly better. And then it was who was the last team that was really bad? It was the Rockies and the Diamondbacks. But like there really isn't many options. There just aren't that many options. Like I guess I could go to the Padres and try to get Campusano, but is he really going to put up better numbers than what Betancourt's putting up? You know what I mean? And I don't really want Fortes or Nola. So I don't really know what to do here. Like I could do that straight up, which we know the Padres do like to acquire a catcher. So maybe we get the second Padres catcher in our team to pair up with Mejia. It's Campusano or it's Campusano. I maybe Moreno, because they did pick up Salvi and they do have like Herrera down here, but it's Campusano or Torrens. And I feel like Torrens, who in real life got traded recently, I forgot to who, but the Cubs did trade him. I mean, he wasn't bad last season. He wasn't bad this year in AAA. I feel like this would be a cheap catcher pickup just because Peltier is not ready yet. He's struggling in AA. So that's kind of why I'm also not trading him. or like trying to move him up and help us out. So I feel like Torrens or where is he? Campusano. What would be the smarter move? What would make the most sense? I feel like Torrens. Oh, wait, he's in AAA right now. Is Torrens in AAA or is he in the major leagues? He's in AAA too. I feel like it's a toss-up. I'm just going to go with the Cubs, Torrens. I just don't want another Padres catcher. That's really what it comes down to. So we're going to go Torrens for Deloach. I overthought that, but that's the move we're making at the deadline. I think that's it. I really like our pitching. I just think our offense is really letting us down season 2. So let's see how we finish. And so we won the division 92-70. So we turned things around quite a bit. Awards-wise, we got Delivery Man of the Year. Honestly, I'm surprised we even won one single award based on how things were going because, man, it was just bad. It was really bad. Looking at the awards, some pretty interesting ones. You know, Peter Fairbanks, love to see that. Let's see what else we got. Javier Juarez looks really good. Holy cow. Yeah, looks really good. That's that. Yeah. Okay. And then Mickey Romero, whichever one it is for the Red Sox, wins it on the other side. So this. Oh, okay. I don't mind this. Shane Baz only pitched 15 innings, or is it Baz? Chirinos I sent down, so I don't want him back up there. Like he was sent down for a reason. We had Bryce Elder up. Let's call him back up because like he was actually pretty decent. Baz can stay up. Didn't really get much. 18 innings. I think we can let him run. I even gave Sampson a shot. He wasn't terrible. Fleming didn't get any time. Fireisen didn't get any time, but during the season, he looked pretty good at AAA. Poche sent down for a reason. He was pretty bad. Kittredge was good. Get him back into the team. So who was bad? Fulmer. Honestly, he wasn't that bad. Let's go with Thompson sent down for now. We'll figure it out once the postseason starts. So this was kind of the issue. It's just like certain players are underperforming at the worst time. Like we just can't get the whole team clicking at one moment. So Shane, not bad. I mean, 18 innings, kind of tough to judge him. The whip's not bad. It's just small amount of innings, a couple runs, gonna hurt him. Bryce Elder though, all right. Clevenger was solid. We've got Beeks, who was pretty good in 30 innings. Kittredge was really good with his time. I mean, 83 innings. ERA is good. Whip's good. Love it. Fulmer struggled a little bit. We've got Jason Adam and then Peter Fairbanks. Love it. All right, so starters. McClanahan, I ended up paying him the money that we saved with Glasnow, but we just made it a longer contract. So 5 years, 15 mil on average. We got Drew Rasmussen, who was very good. Jeffrey Springs, who was solid. And then Eflin was probably like our worst starter. And then Taj Bradley was pretty good. So realistically, I might go something like this. Man, Eflin, is it an option? It's not an option. Dang it. I was kind of hoping this last year was an option because he's not looking like a guy I want in my rotation come next season. Oh, yeah, that's not good. All right. Lineup wise, Paredes once again, just not amazing. 17 home runs is not bad, but the rest of the numbers just aren't good. Mejia might just be the starter, like this everyday starter. It might just have to be him. Like it just, even Torrens came in and was garbage. What did Campusano finish? Did he get called up to the major league squad? He didn't. I mean, even if I guess maybe we should have picked him up. I just didn't want another Padres catcher. That's really what it came down to. I just didn't want that. Senzel wasn't that great. I called him up for a little bit. Taylor Walls was probably our best bench bat, which kind of says a lot. Yandy Diaz is still very good. Wander Franco still pretty underwhelming. We've got Brandon Lau, who hitting 30 home runs, but again, just like it's just a really underwhelming season. Look at Arena's numbers. I mean, Margot was like our next best hitter. Like Harold Ramirez had to be sent down because he was bad. Josh Rojas, though, yeah, OPS is a little low, the slugging's low, but average on base percentage, I think we've got a player who can play third base for us. I know we've got a couple other options in the farm system, but with the way the offense is like not doing too well, we might just have to pick the players that are doing best and just kind of start moving more things around because, man, this was a tough year, just like as a whole. So like really the only guys who did well was Lowe, Rojas, Margot, and Yandy. Like everybody else was like 30 home runs is great. I'm not gonna take that away from Lau, but oof. So like we've got Brujan, we've got Yepez, we got Martin, we got Mead. Like we've got a couple guys down here that could help us out. So we'll have to wait and see what happens because all right, so let's see what we can do in the postseason. We win. Ooh, are we gonna get hot at the right time? That would be nice. That would be very nice. Let's try this. We'll go Bradley there. Perfect. Let's see how we do against the Guardians. We lose, and we're eliminated. So a little short there. And I think in season 3, we just got to get all of our moves right as the Yankees defeat the Cubs in the World Series. What do we have to do to turn this team around? I mean, I think I got to start getting really picky with who we keep and who we get rid of. Margot was like one of our best players last year. He hits lefties really well. Like, I feel like getting rid of him would be stupid. Like, Guerrero's not ready. We signed. Oh, I forgot to show you my draft picks. Let me show you those really quickly. Let me show you roster history. And you have Gerard, who could be the new Margot. It's just he's 18, so I feel like kind of a weird move to do. Milano with A potential. Ramiro with B potential. Again, looks like really good hitting wise. Valentine with like 70-ish potential. And then we've got Barrero, who B potential again, but again, probably a long-term project. So, man, Chirinos, I think he struggled. We're going to let him walk. I think Mejia probably comes back because he's our best catching option. Fulmer didn't do poorly. How much does he want for a season? Like $5 million. Let me see the rest of the options that we have at the farm system right now. Fire Rising, Poche, Thompson, Burr. I guess we could use him. Is he regressing a little bit? So I might hold off. Beeks, I don't want back because he wasn't bad this year. I'm afraid he's going to regress, and Gamble, there's no point in coming back. So honestly, I think Margot and Mejia. So let's see what we can do here. Maybe like a little 3-year deal for Mejia, $5 million each season, and Margot, let's just do like a 2-year club option type situation where it's like 11 mil, and we'll see if he signs it. If not, then maybe we go a different direction. I doesn't sign it. Oh boy. All right, I need to sort out a lot of who I'm keeping, who I'm not. I don't want Betancourt. I might bring back Ramirez how much does he want for arbitration? 1 mil probably. Torrens, I think I'm going to shake up the team. I think it's the best bet. Offensively, we just weren't good enough, and we need to get better. See what we can do. Alrighty, season 3, let's figure out what we want to do here. So I think I'm going to leave it as is pitching wise. Like Zach Eflin might be someone that I'm like really unsure of because I am really unsure of him. Bullpen looks good. I brought in Whistler for a year, Fulmer for a year. So we've got these two, and then Caleb Ferguson also for a season. And then we've got just plenty of different pitchers that we've signed, like Estevez, Fire Rising, or we've drafted. So we've got plenty of pitching depth. I feel like, Vaz, Patino, Fleming, Goss. Like, I feel like it's in a good spot. Lineup wise, again, I just felt like can't really go too crazy. The only guy that I really did sign that's new, I believe, is Danny Jansen. And the reason I signed him was, yes, he sucked last year. He only played in 36 games. He only played in 35 the season before. And I'm thinking, he hits righties well. Mejia hits lefties well. This was like the perfect platoon situation. I did have to pay a little bit more than I wanted to. 12 mil, not ideal, not necessarily realistic, but he was the best catching option available that I thought would work best with our team. So I think if a player is hitting 200 and coming off of a 36 game season, I don't think you're paying 12 mil for him. Maybe around 10, maybe like more of like a Yandy Diaz type situation, 8 mil, 7 mil. I don't think we're hitting double digits here. Maybe, but like I feel like if you're getting a good defensive catcher, I think we'd be all right. So I feel like this is an okay deal, even though it is a little bit more than I wanted to pay. Curtis Mead's gonna get some time, and then we've got plenty of AAA depth. I mean, like, hold on, let me show you. We've got this guy that we drafted, Gerard. We've got Brujan. We've got, where are they? Haggerty, who I've signed, who hits lefties really well, that I thought could help us out. We've got Austin Martin still, Guerrero, Senzel, Yepez, Caminero. Like, we can also make a trade with all the prospects that we have if need be. I think we've got a really good team. I just need everybody to actually do well, which is the hard part, because right now I feel like we've been really, really underperforming. So let's see how season 3 goes. So again, we won the division 88-74. Not as good as previous years, but look how close the division was. Like, it was super competitive. And I made some changes to the team. I didn't even make any trades because I felt like the changes that I've moved, the changes that I made that moved players all around the lineup and everything, I think it worked out really well. So hopefully it stayed the same. So I'm going to check the rotation of lineups really quick, and then we'll look at the awards. All right, so league leaders wise, Pete Fairbanks once again with the saves, right? And then awards, we've got Delivery Man of the Year. Altuve beat out Brandon Lau with the MVP race. Matt Chapman with the White Sox. Soto's with the Braves. Wow, okay, that's MVP for them. Ohtani wins Cy Young with the Cubs, and Manoah with Cy Young for the Blue Jays. Rutschman and Stevenson, 2 catchers with the batting title. That's something new. Bo Naylor and Triantos, which is actually a player I considered trading for if I was going to send Glasnow to the Cubs. But obviously we didn't send him to the Cubs. So let's talk about our team here. You can kind of see things have moved around a little bit. Eflin he struggled. So I kind of moved him into the long relief role towards the end of the year. I think he missed like a couple starts towards the end. You can kind of see he only had 21. So there's that. Patino came up 8 innings, was pretty good. Who was sent down? Bryce Elder got rocked a little bit, started a couple games, just didn't really go to plan, unfortunately. And then relief-wise, Michael Fulmer was atrocious, so I sent him down early. Clevenger, still very good, was fantastic the entire time. Caleb Ferguson, really good lefty for us. Actually, both former Dodgers come and they help us out. Love to see it. Next up, you got Jason Adam, who struggled in the setup role. So then we had JP Fireisen, Matt Whistler, and Peter Fairbanks. So again, the bullpen was fantastic. And then if you move over to our starters, you've got McClanahan, you've got Rasmussen, 1-2, probably one of the best 1-2s in baseball currently. Jeffrey Springs struggled just a little bit ERA-wise, but the whip's in a good spot. Taj Bradley struggled as well, and Shane Baz came up. Didn't make any starts. He was actually in like this role. Bryce Elder was our 5th starter, and then Shane Baz was long relief. Patino got called up late, so we're gonna set up like this for the postseason. Lineup wise, you're gonna see a name there, but I gave Curtis Mead some time. I tried to give Austin Martin some time. Didn't really work out for Austin Martin. Senzel didn't get any time. Yepez didn't get any time this season. Mead's potential went down, and he wasn't having a terrible year. It's just I wanted to win the division. I needed to make some changes, and so I made a big move towards the trade deadline, and that was calling up our 19-year-old Charlie Beatty, the middle infielder. And you're gonna see he only hit 244, but it was better than what we were getting from some other players. So we're gonna see how it goes. Paredes again, just not really hitting that great. Harold Ramirez was pretty good off the bench / DH versus lefties. We've got Mejia, who cooled off quite a bit this season. Margot cooled off quite a bit this season. And offensively, we just were like a really underwhelming team, which sucks, which really does suck. Wander Franco finally popped off, which is awesome. Brandon Lau was in the MVP race for a reason. Crazy season. Arosa Reyna got back on track, which was great. You know, you've got Josh Rojas, who, I mean, what a pickup. What a pickup. Danny Jansen. The OPS at 743, I think, is like the best we've had out of any catcher on our team. So I'm going to take it. Yes, the average is low, but 22 home runs, 56 RBIs, and an OPS like that, I'm okay with that. Josh Lowe was good. I'll take that for sure. And then Charlie Beatty struggled a little bit, but he's gonna win us the World Series. He's gonna be the reason we win. I might get rid of Bubba Thompson. Ooh, could I get Senzel into the team instead? Or do I go with somebody else? Taylor Walls is a possibility. Mead, Austin Martin. Who else? Who else do we have? Vidal Brujan, Aranda. That's really about it now. Let's get Austin Martin in, just because Bubba Thompson just wasn't the guy. Like last year, he was okay. The year before, he was okay. Just not as good as I would have hoped. So we might switch some things up. We might go. How am I gonna do this? I can't really change any of my. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to go with Austin Martin in left field. We'll try that. We'll see how that goes for the postseason. And we'll rock like this versus lefties. I think that's what we're gonna have to do. Who are we facing in the postseason? The Yankees. Let's see what the team's looking like. Offensively, I think we're a better team, which is kind of hard to say that with seriousness, but their pitching is going to be crazy. So I don't know what to expect. All right, let's see how we do against the Yankees. And, we allowed 1 run while we scored 15. All right, so Jeffrey Springs is going to have this game. And then we'll go like that. We'll let Taj Bradley get number 2. We'll see how it goes. The Guardians, what do they look like? They're normally really good. So Robert is on the team now. How did they do that? How are they just getting Robert plus a crazy pitching team? Oof. All right, here we go. We lose, we win though. Okay, McClanahan gets us the win. Rasmussen closed it out, and we are going to be taking on the Astros now. So far, so good. So far, so good. We've got Tucker, Tyler Whitaker. He looks okay. Altuve, Alvarez, Pena. That's a pretty good team. I mean, the heart of the lineup looks good. Their leadoff man looks good, but pitching looks better. But I think we're looking pretty solid here. Shane Baz for game 1. No, we're gonna go maybe like that for the games. I think that's what I want, right? Because who pitched here? Rasmussen. Yeah, that's good. All right, Valdez has almost a 10 ERA. So there we go. We win. We lose. We win. We win. Come on, Shane Baz. Taking on the Cubs or the Marlins. It's gonna be the Marlins in the World Series. The Marlins, okay. Gavin Lux, Chris Bryant, Arise, we know is good. Pete Alonso, we know is good. Okay, oh, interesting team. Obviously with Alcantara, with Rogers, with Cabrera, like they're going to have a good pitching team as well. How did Chirinos do for them? Pretty bad. So I don't know. Like, yeah, their offense is good. I think their pitching's good, but their bullpen could be an issue for them. So we might be good. Who's pitching first? Springs, McClanahan, Bradley, Rasmussen, Baz. All of our starters are actually looking pretty good. I like that. All right, it comes down to this against the Marlins, and we are up 3-0. I feel like that means we are about to win. We've got to wear these. These are the best unis in baseball, hands down. No doubt about it. You could say the black ones are good too, but like, let me tell you, these ones right here, chef's kiss. I just the Devil Rays in general. Oh, so good. So good. Rasmussen take the mound. We're going to have our squad here. Let's do it. Let's just completely shut them out. Let's not... no, okay, so shutout's gone. That's not what you want to see. Josh Rojas doesn't bring in the run, but it's still only 1-0. It's only 1-0. They had Josh Young. I missed that completely. I totally missed that. Beatty gets a double. And then Austin Martin brings it in. Look at that little managerial move right before the postseason. And there we go. Wander going deep. Okay. I like it. 2-1 now. I just need Rasmussen to get me like 4 or 5, but we might have to take him out earlier. Can he give me at least this one? Come on. There we go. All right. So he's done after 5. He's a little tired. Don't want to push it with him. A couple lefties coming up. Let's go Clevenger. Perfect. Love to see it. And we just need the offense to get going now. Switch righty, lefty. Perfect. All right. So he'll be done after that. We need to score here. That's a good start. Yandy, Wander, nothing. Really? Oh, boy. Let's go Fire Rising. I feel good about this one. Strikeout, stolen base. Ooh. Do I go to the lefty here? I do. And it gets the out. Perfect. Bottom 8. Are they going to keep in Sandy? They don't. They bring in Steven Okert. Hit by pitch. Ooh, okay. Randy, I need you to do something there. Anybody. First and second for Josh Lowe. Okay. Ooh, all right. A double to start it off. Maybe I should have went to my closer there. I feel like... Okay. What happened? What just happened? Just everybody forgot? Runner was thrown out going home. All right, so we lose. I just got flashbanged right there. Holy cow. Like we just completely forgot how to play baseball. McClanahan on short rest. Just do the business. Double play. Perfect. And I need like Randy to do better. I need Yandy to do better. I need everybody to do better. There you go, Randy. That's what I was looking for. It just took you facing a lefty to do some damage. Bases loaded for Beatty. Does he hit lefties better? I accidentally hit triangle before I moved over to the side, so I couldn't check. So couldn't see it. Tie ball game now. Not what you want. Man. A double, then nothing. Like, can we just like end the game, please? Like, why are we keeping it so close? I also don't want to get reverse swept. All right, 2-1. We're not looking great. 3-1 now. I know McClanahan's tired. I saw that, but I got a little greedy. Brandon Lau, please. Thank you. A Rosarena, please. Thank you. Harold Ramirez, thrown out, going home. I like the aggressiveness. I can work with that. Righty, righty, lefty. All right, let's go Fire Rising here. And he gets us out of it. Perfect. I just, like, where's the offense? We've been so bad all rebuild. And the Rays are so good in real life. We need to be better. Just way better. And we're just not. I feel so bad about the rebuild and the way the offense has gone. It's been crazy. Like, it's just non-existent. It's so bad. It's insane. Let's go Jason Adam here. And like, we're going to lose because of that. Like, that we just lost because of that. We're going to pinch hit here. Let's go to Rojas. And he gets on, which is awesome. Now let's pinch run for him. Let's go Austin Martin. And then Margot. Do we pinch hit for him too? I do have the outfielder. I guess we just pinch hit with Lowe here. A single. Okay. Charlie Beatty. I'm talking about a walk-off home run here. Be the superstar. Bases loaded for Yandy. Okay. Even better. I'll take this. A strikeout. 1 run scores, but he gets out on the fielder's choice. Pitching change. Okay. Really? Couldn't bring in the run there, guys? You couldn't just end it for me? A walk, a strikeout, a fly out, hit by pitch. Okay. I guess I bring in Fairbanks just to close this out. Like, I didn't want to, but that's what happened. And let's see if he can give me another inning. He does. Perfect. We're just non-existent offense now. Also, where's the runner on second? You guys notice that? No runner on second? Is it not a postseason thing? Is it not a World Series thing? Am I crazy? Is it not a postseason thing? Am I forgetting that it's not a postseason thing? It could be the situation there. All right, Yandy, walk it off. Wander, walk it off. Okay. Fielder's choice. What is going on with my team? Just no offense at all. A single. Charlie Beatty, come on, my guy. I need you there. Pinch runner, fly out. Fielder's choice, line out. We're in the 14th of a World Series game. Like, please. I don't, what is going on here? Something's gotta give, guys. Okay, first and second. Thank God. Thank God. Holy cow. We won a World Series. It only took 15 innings. I don't even know what to say at this point. Who won the MVP? It is going to be Wander Franco and the postseason MVP as well. Charlie Beatty was there, just no home runs, 8 RBIs. He actually was pretty decent. Not gonna hate on him. He was pretty decent in the postseason. A 6'5" second baseman. Love to see it. Or shortstop or third baseman. We'll figure it out. But he was pretty good. I think we're gonna end it there. Offensively, completely just, I don't know what to say for the postseason. Like, that was a crazy couple ending games for the World Series. Pitching wise though, that's a crazy good team. And I feel like the Rays are known for their nasty pitching. I feel like we kind of emulated that. It's just I couldn't get the offense to click when in the regular season. But the postseason, we had what? 2 players do poorly, maybe 3. That's pretty good. So I guess when it mattered, they got the job done. So there's the Rays realistic rebuild. We didn't change too much up. I guess Josh Rojas, Danny Jansen, and a couple prospects here and there. We got rid of Tyler Glasnow, but I feel like all the moves that we did, I think something that the Rays would do. And I feel like we kept that pitching lights out, which we know what the Rays are known for. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And of course, in the comment section, let me know what team you want to see me rebuild next. That's it. Catch you in the next one. Peace.